God's morning to you, world. Oh my gosh, God is awesome. What's today, the 28th? It's a Friday morning, a few minutes before 7. A little over 24 hours ago from here. Video number 1, President Biden, silent suffering. Video number 2, I was on the running track and that's when I saw Marie Presley and Sinead O'Connor. When I got to the other side, to the west side, down the stretch, God said, go to Trump Tower. And on the way, he was reminding me that when I arrived here on 5th Avenue, I arrived here on Super Bowl Sunday, 2017. It was the Patriots, Brady, and the Philadelphia Eagles. One of the greatest comebacks ever. That was pretty awesome. That was the day that I arrived here. And God was reminding me the photos that I took on that cold, rainy day. So I would go to Trump Tower. NYPD would allow me. Trump security would allow me. And I would film. Then all day yesterday, in post-production, I was editing. I was listening. My soul was being humbled. And God did not stop. God did not allow me to lay down on the floor until 2 o'clock this morning. And here's why. For those of you that do believe in the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and if you believe in his word, when you look at 1 Kings chapter 11, 40-some verses, God was reminding me the first time God sent me to Israel in 2012. On my first trip via a taxi, I was literally touring Jerusalem, and in the spirit, the things that I saw, it was like, Abba, what's wrong? It's like something's not right here. What is it? Went to the Mount of Olives, saw a building that said Mormons, Latter-day Saints. Days later, I would go up to the Gospel Trail. I would actually go to to his birthplace. I would go to Mount Transfiguration. The following year on one of my birthdays, on my 53rd birthday, I would literally take a tram from Jericho, from the center of Jericho, and it takes you all the way up to Matthew 4 and Luke 4, where Jesus was tempted by Satan. And yes, I have also been to the upper room. But when I saw Catholicism, Christianity, Muslims, and I saw all these different religions, God reminded me last night the genesis of where all that started. And if you think I'm kidding, look at 1 Kings chapter 11 and look at what Solomon did back then. 700 wives, 300 concubines. In the first few verses, you'll also read where what Shlomo did, Solomon. He would also resurrect gods, idols, 700 of them throughout the country of Israel. And because he did that, look at what God did to him in that one chapter. Look at what he lost, and look at how he died like his father, depressed because of what God took away from him. When God showed that to me again, and he reminded me, he goes, you need to see and you need to know why I did what I did to the 45th president, because Executive Order 13798, when I saw him do that in 2020, when I saw that with my own eyes, I wanted to fly right through the screen and I wanted to jump right up on top of it and I wanted to say, don't freaking do it, don't do it. And I saw all the religious people around him, and in my spirit, it's like, God, what God did to Shlomo then, God did to President Trump, period. Now, that said, in there, look at the adversaries that rose up against. Look at the adversaries that are rising up against President Trump now. When he revealed all that and he put all that together, God's Spirit made me on Twitter to tweet a photo of the chapter, and I sent it to President Trump. Listen, who am I now? I'm available. I'm willing. And my only boast from this day on is in Jeremiah chapter 9, verses 23 and 24. When you read those verses, remember, to all of us that believe in the same God, we are given permission that if we know and if we understand this awesome, powerful God, we are given permission to boast about Him. And if you don't think that I do not know and understand the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and if you don't think that He knows me, let me just share this with you. Starting today, it's going to be week 1, and every week I will give you a weekly update of what's happened and what's happening and what's about to happen. I can no longer run from being a seer, so I'm not going to. You'll never ask me for a subscriber, not one. Now remember this. When God taught me this years ago, God would go ahead and simply just say this, okay? What's more important to you? My hand on your life, or do you want all these millions of thumbs up? Would say is that what good are all the millions of thumbs up if my hand is not on your life? That was done. God did it for me. You will never, listen to me, you will never hear me speak and ask for 1 penny. You will never see me. You will never hear me bow my head and talk the way that I used to as a Catholic and as a Christian for 48 years. You will never see that. But what you will see is you will see me centered, and I will always be facing east. I always know where the city of truth is. I always know where the promised land is, and I also know where the third temple is. Always. And I will. And this is who I am now, and I'm pretty excited. I hope that all of you had an awesome and a powerful week like I did. And I hope that you walk in constant blessing the way that I did, from benefit to benefit. So to all of you that honor Him in His holy day, get used to this, because every week when I give you an update, I am always going to end a Friday with Shabbat Shalom, world. Got to press on. We'll see ya.